Right now, an object from beyond our solar system is slipping out of sight, and scientists can't explain why it's behaving this way. Its name is 3A Hostoi, an interstellar object traveling at over 68 kilometers per second, originating from the deep galactic core. But here's what has experts truly unsettled just before vanishing behind the sun. It began exhibiting behaviors no one has ever documented in any known comet. It created what appears to be a dynamic energy envelope, almost like a shield, absorbing solar wind and radiation in ways that violate our models of natural cometary physics. Is this an ancient object from a forgotten part of the galaxy, or something far more complex? This isn't just about astronomy anymore. This is about what we don't understand happening right inside our own solar system. In October 2023, Atlas entered a solar conjunction, placing it directly behind the Sun, from Earth's perspective, effectively vanishing from all Earth-based observation. As of that moment, no telescope on our planet can track it. What it's doing now, where it's going, or whether it's even behaving naturally, no one can confirm. And before it disappeared, 3 sent out a strange final message, if you can call it that. New imaging data from early October showed what looked like a reverse tail shooting material directly toward the Sun, in complete opposition to how comets are expected to behave. Not a trick of perspective, not a visual distortion, but an active, forceful jet aimed against the very force that should be blowing it away. Solar physicists and comet analysts alike are baffled. Traditional comets develop a coma and tail that trails behind, pushed by solar radiation pressure. But here we have an interstellar object seemingly defying the Sun itself. And that's not all. Spectral analysis revealed that the materials surrounding the object are layered in a way never seen before. The inner core appears to be dominated by nickel-lacking iron, a fundamental shift from the iron-rich bodies typical of comets formed in our solar system. Surrounding that is a strange band of cyanide compounds and an outer shell dense with carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. This multi-layered chemical structure doesn't match any known cometary blueprint. Where was this thing really formed? What kind of environment could have created such stratified complexity? And if this is just the beginning, what happens when it re-emerges from behind the Sun? All of this is happening while Earth drifts farther away from the event horizon. The timing isn't just odd, it's ominous. Because just as 3I Atlas vanishes, 3 other comets are also approaching Earth's orbit, converging around the same time frame. The alignment is statistically rare, almost unnatural. Some researchers believe this might not be a coincidence at all. Could we be witnessing a coordinated influx? Or is something in our solar system pulling these visitors in? The more we ask, the fewer answers we have. But one thing is certain. Didn't come here to behave normally. Before 3I Atlas vanished behind the Sun, astronomers captured data that still has them second-guessing everything they thought they knew about comets or interstellar objects. Most puzzling is the formation of what researchers are now calling a protective cocoon, a strange, energetic environment around the object that seems to actively block or redirect the effects of solar radiation and solar wind. This isn't just rare, it's unprecedented. Typically, when comets approach the Sun, their outer ices sublimate, creating a bright coma, and tail blown away from the Sun. But in this case, something is absorbing or deflecting that energy in a way no natural ice cloud could explain. Spectrographic readings also showed bizarre polarization levels in the light reflected from 3I Atlas. This high negative polarization is something solar system comets do not exhibit. In simple terms, The light bouncing off this object is reacting in ways that imply its surface and the materials surrounding it are composed of exotic or highly organized structures. And then came the most jarring discovery, the anti-tail. What was first thought to be a visual trick, a dust illusion caused by the orbit's angle, was confirmed by observatories in the Canary Islands as a real physical jet of material actively firing toward the sun, stretching hundreds of kilometers. This tail goes against everything taught in astrophysics textbooks, a tail that defies solar wind. Scientists are now calling it a jet because it seems directional, almost engineered. This would suggest that the object isn't merely passively reacting to solar energy, but actively interacting with it. Some hypothesize it may even be using the sun as a power source in a way we can't yet understand. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb has proposed that if any object were to hide its activity from Earth's view, the perfect moment would be during solar conjunction, when it's directly behind the sun from our perspective. During this blind spot, nothing we have on Earth can track the object. No telescope, no radar. It's a blackout window, and 3i Atlas is taking full advantage. Could this object be using that time to maneuver shift its trajectory, or engage in some activity we wouldn't otherwise detect? Stranger still, the object's chemical behavior is unlike any natural process known in space. The inner region is undergoing a reaction involving nickel tetracarbonyl, a chemical compound only known to form under very specific industrial conditions here on Earth. In laboratories and factories, nickel tetracarbonyl is used to refine and purify nickel. For it to occur naturally inside a moving interstellar object implies either a remarkable accident or design. Meanwhile, as water jets have been seen erupting from the surface, there's no measurable deviation in the object's path. That alone contradicts standard orbital mechanics. Typically, outgassing like this changes an object's momentum. Not here. Some estimate that 3i Atlas might weigh over 33 billion tons, a staggering mass that would make it extremely difficult to divert even with substantial jetting activity. That sheer stability could explain why it remains on a flawless course, aligned almost perfectly with the ecliptic plane. But why is an interstellar object from far outside our system traveling so cleanly in the path of our planets to 3i? Slipped deeper into the solar system. Something else happened. Something most people missed. Just before it vanished behind the sun, the object passed unusually close to Mars. And while NASA released minor trajectory data, the real surprise came from what wasn't shared. Instruments aboard the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, as well as rovers on the surface, recorded what scientists are calling the closest ever interstellar flyby. But then, silence. No official images. No chemical maps. No radar data. According to public reports, the data is delayed due to a government shutdown, but several independent astronomers had believed the delay is intentional. Why? Because multiple sources confirm that the Mars High-Resolution Imaging Science Experiment HiRISE captured clear, high-zoom visuals of 3i Atlas during its closest approach. And reportedly, those images contained something unexpected: elongated structures, possibly ridged or metallic, and thermal readings inconsistent with natural rock and ice. This is where the narrative starts to split. Some researchers argue this is nothing more than an icy interstellar comet, perhaps with unique structure due to its alien origin. But others, especially those studying comet morphology and space object engineering, are pushing for deeper scrutiny. Why would NASA withhold visual data unless it contained something controversial? Even more disturbing were the Martian atmospheric anomalies recorded during the flyby. Dust devils and storm formations spiked in the regions near the rover sites, as if the passing of the object stirred up electromagnetic or gravitational interference. While not definitive, the timing is too precise to ignore. Some researchers noted that the peak in local wind velocity on Mars occurred within hours of the object's closest pass, prompting debate over whether 3I Atlas emitted energy or radiation as it moved through the Martian orbital path. And then, as the object continued on its path, Earth-based astronomers reported a fleeting but intense green flash, a sudden unexplained emission of light detected by multiple independent observatories. The term green flash is typically used for optical illusions during sunset, but this was no illusion. This was a burst of green-tinged energy localized to the trajectory path of 3I Atlas, captured on narrowband UV and visible light sensors. Theories range from a chemical interaction in the coma to energy discharge, or even an artificial event, some form of reaction with solar particles. Once again, no official explanation has been released. And yet, despite all this activity, the object's trajectory remains unchanged. No deviation, no slingshot, no apparent drift. It moves as if guided, or at least impervious to physical forces that typically alter comet paths. Some scientists, including those working with solar tracking observatories, have quietly admitted that the alignment of 3I Atlas is too perfect. Its path falls directly into the solar system's orbital plane, the same plane occupied by all major planets. That's statistically unlikely for a random interstellar object. Objects from outside the solar system tend to come in at steep angles, intersecting planetary orbits only briefly. But this one seems to travel with us. And its approach vector, it originates from nearly the same direction as the 1977 WOW signal, one of the most famous unexplained radio bursts in astronomy. That signal, which lasted seconds, came from a narrow band of sky that 3I Atlas is now aligned with. Is this coincidence? Is this simply an ice and metal fragment drifting on a lucky trajectory? Or are we seeing the first evidence of something more structured, more deliberate, entering our system with purpose? Every anomaly builds upon the last. The shield, the anti-tail, the green flash, the Mars activity, the chemical processes. Each might be explained individually, but taken together, they form a profile unlike anything in known cometary or interstellar science. And now, with Earth unable to observe the object until December 2025, we are in the dark. Literally. What is 3I Atlas doing behind the sun? And what will re-emerge once it steps back into view? As the clock counts down to December 2025, astronomers, engineers, and even defense analysts are all watching the same patch of sky, the one behind the sun. That's where 3I Atlas currently hides, invisible to Earth-based observation and unreachable by conventional instruments. It's a region we call solar conjunction, and it's not just a blind spot. It's a cloak, a perfect moment for anything natural or not to maneuver without being seen. This isn't just scientific curiosity anymore. It's becoming a global question. Because when 3I Atlas re-emerges, it will be closer to Earth than ever before. And if its past behavior is any indication, it's not coming quietly. The theories have diverged sharply. On one side, planetary scientists argue for extreme natural processes, volatile chemistry, rare interstellar layering, coincidental trajectory. But the pattern is now too consistent, too layered, too deliberate for some experts to ignore. The anti-tail. The chemically refined nickel layers, the refusal to alter course despite intense outgassing. the perfectly aligned orbital path. These are no longer isolated features. They are fingerprints. And then there's the data NASA hasn't released. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured images at a resolution capable of seeing car-sized objects from orbit. So why haven't the best close-up images of the most unusual interstellar visitor ever discovered been shared with the public? Some argue that the lack of public images is due to the U.S. government funding freeze. But others suggest a more controversial idea, that the delay is strategic. That what was captured might not just challenge scientific assumptions, it might shake public belief. And there's one final layer. The coincidence or convergence of 3 other comets arriving in Earth's vicinity at the same time 3I Atlas swings around the Sun. 3 independent objects each on paths that bring them close to our planet in late 2024. The odds of such alignment are statistically low. But the symbolism of 4 comets, including one of interstellar origin converging on Earth's skies, has stirred ancient fears, modern theories, and even defense questions. What happens if 3I Atlas reappears? And it's changed. Will its structure be the same? Will its trajectory remain precise? Or will we see signs that during its hidden passage, something else occurred? Something that today's instruments cannot record, but tomorrow's headlines won't ignore. Because this isn't just about 3I Atlas anymore. This is about how little we truly understand what enters and perhaps even observes our solar system. For now we wait, we monitor, we model. But above all, we wonder. When 3I Atlas steps out from behind the Sun, will we be looking at a comet or at something else entirely?